I was first notified about the gas explosions when I was actually at an event in the city of Boston. And my first thought was, I don't know what this is or why it's happening.
I think that I was a little bit in shock when I first heard about it, and I think at that moment there was so much uncertainty. You didn't really know what was happening, at what scale, but you knew something historic and of catastrophic scale was underway.
This was pretty extraordinary in that we didn't know how many casualties were going to show up at the emergency room. But our training, our trauma level 3 status really requires us to meet certain standards for training, for having expertise in place, and all of that came to play that day.
So many communities, so many law enforcement communities, so many police and fire communities literally across southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts just dropped whatever they were doing and headed for that Showcase Cinema parking lot up in Lawrence. And over the course of the next several hours and into the evening and the next day, they worked almost seamlessly to get deployed.
My gosh, this is the last thing that Lawrence needs. Lawrence is fighting an uphill battle and doing a heck of a job. Knowing this community so well and knowing the resilience of the people in this community and their ability to work together, I didn't even fully understand the scale of the impact, but I knew we're going to climb out of this one too.
There were many, many acts of bravery and also compassion in the midst of something that was very, very frightening that you could see in everybody's eyes. It was our job to calm everybody and support them through this time.
You know, the mayor is somebody who I endorsed and supported when he ran for re-election because I thought he was the right guy for the job. He and I visited a series of senior centers on a number of occasions, and he knew practically everybody in these places. We also went and visited a Red Cross shelter one of those first nights, and it was kind of funny because almost everybody who was being served by the Red Cross in this shelter, which was set up in an elementary school, spoke Spanish. And so he would speak to them in Spanish and point at me, and they would all laugh, and I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about, but I assumed it was okay. His ability to walk in the shoes of the people of his community as they were going through this, and at the same time to collaborate so effectively with his colleagues, Andrew Flanagan from Andover and Andrew Mailer from North Andover, was seamless.
There were so many people that were involved, and I think that the Senior Center and Martha Velez created an incredible anchor. You know, and we need anchors in moments of crisis, and her specific leadership in that of the Senior Center was vital because there were so many people that wanted to get involved. There were so many donations coming in, and you needed an organized way to deal with them. We were learning for the first hand, where could you get a shower? We were learning firsthand, do we need diapers? Yes, we need diapers. No, we need water. No, we don't need water. Now we need children's games, whatever the need may have been. The fact that it was a dynamic situation and you had clear leadership that was organizing all of those components, but more importantly, you had so many people showing up to help.
Kim Moriarty is an extraordinary nursing leader. I've had the pleasure of working with her the past 4 years, and when I think of Kim, you know, we always say we can't be all things to all people, but Kim comes pretty close to it. She's a fantastic operational leader. She's a fantastic clinical nurse. She's passionate, actually, about emergency planning and preparedness, and functions on a big role in the committee here in the hospital, but also regionally and statewide.
I was not surprised to hear some of the first stories coming out of the heroism. I was not surprised to see the images on television of firefighters and police officers that were working together, that were first on the scene.
To Dan, Brian, Kim, Ivan, and Martha, I just want to say how incredibly impressed all of us were by everything you all did for your community and for the people you serve over the course of that terrible tragedy and the aftermath. You are all a tribute to this Commonwealth, to the city of Lawrence, and to what it means to be a public servant. And you are worthy of all the recognition you've gotten, even though I know it embarrasses every one of you.
Well, I want to congratulate everybody receiving a Legacy of Leadership Award today. These are really, really important recognitions. And, you know, Officer Soto, Kim Moriarty, Brian Moriarty, Mayor Rivera, Martha Velez, who helps us at the hospital so much. You know, there were many, many people taking care of patients, but during this kind of event, leadership does matter, and you all were extraordinary leaders during this event and continue to be. So congratulations.
Congratulations on winning this well-deserved award. You guys were decisive when the moment required it, and you continue to show resolve for days, weeks, and months afterwards. Thanks for being the pillars that we all needed to lean against in that time of crisis.